In this video, I will introduce you to Midland's new high-end heavy-duty GMRS mobile antennas. I will review with you some of the features and specifications of these very high-end and very durable antennas. I will run them through my fancy antenna analyzer so that the experts can complain about the results in the comments section, and I will go over some of the reasons that you may or may not need or want one of these antennas on your vehicle. This will not be a full review. Instead, think of it more as a casual introduction. And yes, Midland did send these antennas to me at no cost so that I could share them with you, my favorite viewer. And if you look very carefully in the information section of the video, you will find an affiliate link to Midland's webpage where you can get more info on these antennas or even purchase one for yourself. So first of all, there are actually 4 of these antennas that I will be introducing you to. I have only 2 of them here. The other 2 are just off camera because they are much larger. But what you should know about all of these antennas is that all of these antennas are made for use on the GMRS. So you do not need to cut them or trim them or tune them. You simply remove them from their protective sack and use them with your GMRS radio. Each one of these new antennas are heavy duty and are intended to be mounted on the bullbar or bumper of an off-road or overlanding type vehicle, and be forewarned that these are not inexpensive or cheapo type antennas. So if you are that type of very annoying person that feels uncontrollably compelled to leave comments whining and moaning and carrying on about the cost of something that you feel is not worth the price, please just sit down because nobody cares. The cost for these new Midland GMRS antennas is as follows. The MXAT01VP is $160. The MXAT05 is $160. The MXAT03 is $180. And the big one, the most heavy-dutiest of them all, the MXAT04 is $260. And of course, the very first thing that everyone wants to know about these antennas is how many FARs do these new heavy-duty antennas have? Unfortunately, I cannot do a good comparison between the antennas because where I live, a GMRS signal can only go about 40 miles in any direction because I am surrounded by mountains. And all 4 of these antennas that I'm about to introduce you to have that many FARs, no problem, with no significant differences between them that I was able to hear with my own human ear holes. However, it is important to remember that because my chalet is located in the rolling hills above the wretched slums below, I have very good line of sight across the entire valley, which affords me many FARs. So my results with these antennas, indeed my results with any antennas, is pretty much a best case scenario. So what I am saying is, in case you are not following along, is your FARs will vary. And unless you are using one of these tiny antennas, such as one of these new antennas will likely not perform any better than what you are using now, because performance is not necessarily the point. Of these new antennas. The point is, and the reason why you may want one of these new GMRS mobile antennas from Midland is either because of their rugged, very heavy-duty design, of which I will show you more of momentarily, or for the obvious and bold fashion statement that they make, which will become apparent momentarily. First of all, as you can see, when comparing any of these antennas to a regular old-fashioned GMRS antenna, such as this MXTA26, all of these, all four of them, are built in a much more heavy-duty fashion. A few of them are much longer, and they all have much more girth. And we all know that girth is just as important as length. And now let us look at each one more intimately. Starting with the MXAT01 VP, which is 4 feet long and is rated at 7.5 dB gain. And as you can see, if you look very closely, it looks very much like an old school Fire Stick type CB radio antenna. It comes with the cable, and the cable has a removable PL259 connector. This makes it very easy to fish the cable through small and tight crevasses or spaces. And this is the only one of these new antennas that has a standard NMO mount. This means that if you already have an NMO type mount, this antenna will screw right onto it. As I have already mentioned probably more than once at this point, all of these antennas, this one as well as the others of which I am about to show you, all of these antennas are GMRS antennas. So they come right out of the sack pre-tuned for use with your GMRS radio. And not only do you not need to tune them, they are not even tunable. And according to my fancy antenna analyzer machine, they have a good SWR throughout the entire GMRS range. Next is the MXAT04 VP, which is by far the most heavy-dutiest of all of these new antennas. It is 47 inches long and it is rated at 6.6 dB. It comes with the cable already attached to this very large and very extremely heavy-duty spring mount that is designed to be mounted to a small hole in your bumper or bull bar. The cable is not removable, and as you can see when compared to a standard GMRS whip type antenna, it has much girth. Also with the removable PL259 connector, so that fishing your cable through small spots is easier. And also, as I mentioned, it is very heavy duty. This one weighs a couple of pounds, and there is a set screw on the antenna so that it can be removed from the base or swapped out. As mentioned, this one is designed to be mounted directly to a bumper or bull bar, so hopefully to prevent any confuculation about what a bull bar is. Many people may refer to the bull bar as a push bar or a stinger or simply a very expensive bumper. They're all the same thing. Next, we have the MXAT03, which is basically a smaller version of the MXAT04 that I just showed you. The MXAT03 is 28 inches long and is rated at 3 dB. It also comes with a spring mount base, but it is much smaller and not as heavy duty as the 04 that I just showed you. And it also comes with a cable attached with the same removable PL259 type connector, and it is also intended to be mounted directly to a bumper or bull bar. And finally is the MXAT05. It is also 28 inches long and is rated at 3 dB. If you get the VP version, this is not the VP version. The VP version has the spring mount base and cable on it, basically the same as what comes with the MXAT04 VP. So should you purchase one of these new Midland heavy-duty, high-end GMRS antennas? My friend, if you currently have a well-working, full-sized GMRS antenna and all you want is more FARs, then no. Save your money. But if you currently have one of these little type antennas, which often come with some of the Midland radios, and if you want more FARs and something heavy-duty with that old-style CB radio or Overlander look, then yes, any of these antennas would be a good upgrade. Or if you want something with good FARs that is super heavy duty and has that sexy old school CB antenna or rugged overlander look, then any of these new Midland GMRS heavy duty antennas would be a good choice.